All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, open, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
Joel, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Spencer. How you doing on this? What do we call it? It's a Moxie Monday. Not a real exciting Monday, but market's doing good, Spencer. Market is doing good. Let me share my screen, tell you exactly what I'm talking about here. We are posed to make a new all-time closing high today. Not sure if we're going to make an all-time high. A little dip off the open, but couldn't take out that pre-market low. Caught a little noon bump, and boom, we are now in the green by 5 1/4 handles. Over Friday's high is 68.50. All-time closing high, that was from Friday at 64.75. All-time high, 78.50. That's only about 9 handles away. So there's a good day in the market after seeing that red overnight. Crude not having a bad day. That's up 58 cents at 61.55. Still the trading range, though. Wow. Kind of busted out a little bit of the top of the range there. You can see the 61.50 area. So trying to get some of those losses back. Not from last week, but from the previous week. Gold much closer to 1,700 than 1,750. That's down $24.20 to 1,710.5. Silver, that's down 43 cents, well under 25 at 24.68. And Bitcoin, it was up around 4K this morning. It's still up 4K at 58,255. That's up $4,195. Spencer, what have you been watching today?
Oh, I've been watching the whatever you want to call it, the Archegos stocks. I don't know what you want to call them. Credit Suisse. I've been watching Nomura, which I'll be honest with you. Obviously I know Nomura, but I didn't even realize until this morning that Nomura trades in the U.S. So today I learned there. But I've been watching the banks. I've been watching these stocks like Viacom and Baidu. Because we saw the report from Faber over the weekend that they were not done shopping blocks of those stocks, and they've all just sort of continued lower here again today.
Yeah, definitely not in the same fashion that we had on Friday.
Right.
Let's take a look at some of these stocks. Well, first of all, let's look at some of the brokers that were getting some heat. Credit Suisse, they priced that in overnight. There it was. Got a little bit of a bounce. Let's see how it's traded in relation to the pre-market session, and that is the pre-market session. So getting back some of those losses. I don't know if their losses have actually been defined yet. Let's take a look at, I know Goldman Sachs was deep in the red. How'd Goldman do? They got it all back. Made a low earlier in the session and now pretty much unchanged. And let's include the pre-market action here with Goldman Sachs. Wow, it really made a nice rebound. We were under 316 and now 63 cents from going flat on that. And then who was the other broker that was supposed to be absorbing some losses on that? That was Morgan Stanley, right?
Credit Suisse and Nomura were the two that were really exposed. A bunch of them came out. Goldman, Morgan, and Deutsche Bank came out and said, we are not going to have any losses from this. Or if we do, it'll be immaterial. So
okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, so their risk teams did a good job. And actually, there was a great story about this in the Financial Times that I want to link to and throw it in the chat. They posted a doozy on this story, and there are some great nuggets in here. First, let me read you this quote from the story in the FT. This is an anonymous quote. "It's pretty hard for me to defend why we loaned him so much," said an executive at a bank with billions of dollars of exposure to Archegos. What else here? Here we go. "A number of banks were lending to Archegos at ratios as great as 8-1, meaning for every one stock the fund bought, the bank would lend it 7 more. according to people familiar with the matter. In some trades, leverage ratios may have hit as high as 20 to 1. One person with knowledge of the fund said. So, not sure what the people at Credit Suisse and Nomura were doing, but they're in trouble. Probably. So,
what's the symbol for Numera over here?
NMR.
Oh, okay. All right. Whew. NMR. Yep. That took a hit and really didn't recover. Low price stock down 88 cents. Well, I guess you just have to see what comes out on that. But boy, they did not recover though. Big slacking there for Nomura Holdings.
Yeah, and then so this guy, I guess he already been blacklisted once before. Goldman took him off their blacklist last year. Goldman, this guy was blacklisted for like 10 years, and Goldman took him off their blacklist last year, or not 10 years, like I guess like 8 years. Goldman took him off their blacklist last year. They're the last bank to do it, and this is the thanks they get.
I guess he'll be going
less than a year later. Oh man,
I guess he'll be going back on it.
I guess so. Okay, what else here? Enough of that. Yeah, shit and fraud. What about Chad? Talking about Rocket today. I don't know if you saw that. What the hell happened there on RKT?
Do we get some news?
What was that? Is there news? If there was news, I missed it.
Oh wow, was it Reddit up to no good or something?
So another. No, that was during the day though.
Yeah, this was right off the open.
You know what? This may have been Reddit. Yeah, there was a block on RKT, but that was later on in the morning, right? Or later on in the afternoon. I think it may have been Reddit. I don't know. That's weird.
Wow. Well, I mean, the good news is it all got to 27.50. The bad news is that that didn't hold, and we are back down. 27.44 was the high. Did we have anything in that area? Not really. 26.93, 27.84. So once again, you like to see it at least if he gets one of those pops, hold on a little bit more of those gains, but that doesn't look like it's the case here in today's session.
What else did I see? There wasn't a lot I was paying attention to outside of like you said, Joel. It's been a pretty quiet day, all things considered. No.
Yeah, just besides the break that we had this morning and the comeback, I mean, really, that's it. You want to cover some stocks that we covered this morning?
Yeah, we can, and then we'll go to the chat for some more stuff. Actually, you know what? Let's start with these. I'm not sure what you want to call it. Whether you can call it like gaming / consumer tech. I don't know. Any of these like new consumer plays, like DraftKings, for example, right? Is I guess a gaming and also like a consumer play, right? Down almost 8% today. Penn National, same story, down 7% today. Those two, of course, trade together. But I don't know. I mean, a lot of the gaming stocks are down today. I don't know why those two are the weakest. Maybe
people are running out of money.
Maybe.
Boom. Gave back half of the move. We are under this low here. Whew, I don't know. We're in trouble here. Next daily low in DraftKings comes in at 54.36. Got a ways to go here. A lot lower high. This bad. Just liquidation here. Can't really give you an intermediate number when there isn't one. You could use the close from today. Let's see how the volume is. See if there's if this is just maybe some shift to some weak hands from, no, pretty good volume too. So persistent seller, Penn, man, oh man. Under this chart looks a little better. In fact, that you undercut the low, but man, you're not far off it. Man, oh man, when that news was announced that it was getting added to the S&P, that was the sell signal. This other low to lean on here, tough chart here, even for me. 95.38, that was your low in today's session, or going back. And then 96.77. So maybe wait for it to get this on some strength. What was the close from yesterday? 106.58. High 106.73. So, folks, someone wanted out at the mark. So, see where we close tomorrow, or today, and use that as a support or resistance point. If you were using it as a resistance point, you got a pretty good sell off there at only 20 cents a heat at 106.58.
Joel, did you see Visa today? I want you to pull up the Visa chart. Tell me if we have made back half the move. Actually, I think no, we have not. No, we have not.
Nope, not quite. 2 good days in a row, found support.
And Visa had news today, by the way.
And what was that news?
News is that they're doing a pilot program to let people use cryptocurrency to settle transactions on their network.
I mean, it's having a good day. I mean, it's hard to figure retracements because, you had this move here, you gave it back. I mean, I don't want to get too retraced. Let's see what we can do with this bar. This was the bar that you had the bad news on. You had the day where you had the 220.17 high. So the question remains here for this issue. We're trading near the highs of the session. Can we get back up to that 220.17? A lot of people got stuck on that day. If they held out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sessions, being bailed out a little bit. But just been at 220.14 high. That's really sticking out to me as an important area. The close on the day before it had the big tankage, 220.68. So there's your level on 220. Before you get too excited about Visa going back to all-time highs, let's take care of that 220 first.
All right, Sarah A., I see you. She's looking at American Tower, which is not one that I have looked at for a while, but damn, these cell tower. I guess I have some exposure to this already. I'm not via SRVR, I think, maybe. I don't know. But AMT, these cell tower plays, holy 5G, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, these stocks have just been monsters forever. Wow. What a run here. Now this, not quite back at all-time high, but I would be a little bit more comfortable giving you a retracement here because this was a meaningful break off that all-time high. Boom, let's see where that came in at. And now had the low. When did it make this 200? Oh, that was a while ago. The only thing about this is, we just had a little downdraft there, Spencer. Did you do some liquidation on your portfolio there? I got margin called. Sorry, you got margin called. Here, there you go, Spencer. Trading the family money again.
I'm seeing the $600 million to sell on balance.
This got back over half of the move. Just so many green days in a row. I think what you want to maybe see is maybe just after this, you had this 2-day bump, maybe get a little pause and then continue higher. But looking at this like on a streak basis, I guess you've had some down days in there too, but not seeing anything on the dailies back over the 50%. Figure that exact number because you might get a little pause there. Nothing on the monthlies until your November high at 253.08. S&Ps, that's a quick 10 points. We're off the high. Now in jeopardy of not posting a new all-time closing high today.
All right, PSA, the CEO of Insego will be on Kramer tonight. So INSG for you 5G traders. Maybe have.
Are they bumping it? No, just hanging out at near the low of the move. You do have some monthly support in this area. Did you bounce off it today? Today's low, 850. A couple other monthly lows, 827, 864. So you're in an area of support, and usually when this guy comes, Kramer's usually been pretty bullish this stock. So I wouldn't want to be shorted into the CEO being on Kramer. A couple levels of interest if you get a pop, $11. Got a high at 10.95. And then over 11:41 splits two highs from March 15th and March 16th. So that's what you're looking at on a Kramer prop. If they don't like what they say, the recent low of the move has been 850. And as I mentioned, you have some monthly lows in that area, 860 and 827. So Insego trying to get off the mat. S&P loses 10 points, gets 10.5 of that real quickly. So here we are, 13 minutes to go. Will we get a new all-time closing high?
Hurt Scrambler asking why Cleveland Cliffs is so choppy. It's not just Cleveland Cliffs, actually. It's the whole sector. Because you look at U.S. Steels, they all the charts look the same. They popped at the open, then they topped out at around 10:30, 11 o'clock this morning. Whether it's U.S. Steel, whether it's CLF, whether it's Nucor, they're all the same.
I mean, 14 to 17 in 2 days on a lower price stock. Not sure what exactly you're looking for, but no clear numbers over 17 for CLF. Important that it, had the reversal today. Important that it holds the low formed today. Man, it looks like we're making new lows as we speak. 16.13. Problem is, if you lose that, you're looking at 15.41. Maybe people were looking for some infrastructure news or some infrastructure announcements that we didn't get.
It is infrastructure week, whatever the hell that means. I guess that means that they're going to be announcing a whole lot of crap out of the White House. TBD on what infrastructure week actually means. But it's apparently at the White House, it's infrastructure week.
X having a little bit better of a day. That did get up to 25, 23, and it is pulling back. Still want to keep an eye on these two highs that you had here, right above 24. That would have been nice to see it close at above 24. Let's call it 24.40. You had two highs, 24.28 and 24.26. But 3 good days in a row on the monthly chart. You not only have daily resistance, you got monthly resistance. 24.71. That was your high in January. 25.23. That's your high in today's session. Call 25. Your next level to get another leg higher in U.S. Steel. Letter X.
I saw somebody mention Butterfly, BFLY. This was a former SPAC. I guess notable only because they report earnings tonight. There really is not a lot on the calendar this week. So
doesn't Kathy own this one?
Yeah, she does.
Tight range. If things look ugly, you could be seeing 14. That was your low from earlier in the month. If things get pretty, butterfly sting like a bee, watch out at 20 here, folks. You had a high at 20 at the beginning. I believe it was beginning of last week. Your high was 20, and a high going back a little farther, 20.39. So there's what you're looking at in a pop, and there's what you're looking at on a drop in butterfly, BFLY.
Here's a question we don't get every day. What do you think about AT&T? That's a question that we don't get. We don't get that hardly ever. Props to you, KGR, because nobody asks.
It's just it. You know what? I've been thinking. I don't know. I mean, 7% dividend. I mean,
yep. That's what.
Yep.
That's what you think. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's what it is. You're buying it on. Just put a bunch of lows in the same area, having a nice rally. Got up here past this level a couple weeks ago and couldn't hold. I believe it's going into ex-dividend, so I believe it's sometime in April. So you have a slow accumulation of the stock, getting that dividend, holding it for maybe the day of the dividend and getting it out. So I just think what you have is a play on the dividend. I believe that's the first week in April.
Yeah, Duncan Dave thinks it's a dividend trap. Maybe, Duncan Dave, maybe. Yeah, that is a stodgy. Like, if you look up stodgy in the dictionary, it just shows you a chart of AT&T, I think, over the last 20 years. Stodgy is an understatement. What about, hey, thanks for the reminder, Noah. L Brands raised their guidance, did they not, on Friday?
Yes.
It did. Yeah. How'd that shake out? I don't recall looking at that after Friday morning.
It was too much. Too fast. Going to fill the gap, or did it already fill the gap here? 59.88. You did fill the gap at 59.26. You did get a little bit of a bounce. But man, the way this chart's setting up, one day they sold the news on it. They're selling the news again on it. I guess from a longer term perspective, you have the low on the day before the news was. That's on Thursday at 56.01. So maybe get taken out of some weakness at 56.01. But don't like the candle that it had today. Don't like the candle it had on Friday. I'll be looking at 61.60. That was a closing high for the move. That's the highest this issue has closed since the middle, or early 2018, or sometimes in July 2000. Let's see, when was the last time this thing's closed over 60? It's January of 2018. That's the last time you got your close over $60. So not a great looking chart, but selling on weakness under 56. High close of the move. Mentioned that from Friday, 61.60.
Chipper is asking if Netflix is ready to head north. I don't know about north, but I can tell you it's going to go up vertically into the atmosphere because Cathie Wood's ARKX space ETF has allocated some of its holdings to Netflix, apparently.
Why, they're going to watch Netflix?
Did you know Netflix is a space play? Space play.
Really? How?
I don't know. That's just what Ark says.
Very interesting level for year traders here in Netflix. 518.53. You hit that on Thursday. 518. Your high today. You've backed off. So there you go. Need to clear 518. If not, you've got a clear path, perhaps up to 534.42. And what was the settlement on that day? Ooh, the settlement on day 520.81. So important for this, get above that 518 and hold it. Take a shot at 524.42. Nice 2-day move. It's had a couple 2-day moves since it made that low under 500, but not a ton of follow through.
Okay, I don't know if you saw that list, Joel, but there's been some action in stocks that were included on the ARKX holdings list. Lockheed Martin was on there. They're up today. Wait, were they on there? Or did I?
When is that supposed to launch?
Tomorrow. Wait, did I make that up?
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah. So it's supposed to launch tomorrow. Lockheed Martin was on there. LHX, which is L3 Harris, which is the merger from a few years ago. That was on there. That's up. Boeing was on there.
Boeing got an order today, right? From Southwest Airlines.
Somebody, yeah.
Boy, got to almost 280. Man, I'm sure. I thought I'd get a little bit more lift off this news, but took halfway back of the move when you got to 268. Got a little overdone there when it got almost to 280. You're coming back. Figure that retracement right there at 255. The high of the day, 254.71. So there it is. There's your bogey, man. Goes above 255. Take out that other little pesky high at 57.67. Get Boeing back up to the high of the move. The actual high of the move for Boeing, 278.57. We are now under 39.60, folks. Little bit of selling pressure going into the close. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
The teensy bit. And then also interesting is if you look at like Space, SPCE is down today. And MaxR, so Space is in the ARK Space Fund. MaxR is not, at least for now, and that's down to almost 5% today because they did not get included in the ARK Space ETF.
Space is trying. Extended decline. Got over $60 in February. 2-for-1 stock split. Had the panic low under 25. Got a little excited over 35. and now just about dead set in the middle. So what I'd like to see here, if I was a shareholder in space, let's just see it hold that $30 level, that psychological level. Also comes right in between, and see if we can get some of those losses back from earlier in the month, and a lot of that losses back from February. S&P's back at 39.60. It's going to be close here to see if we can get a new all-time closing high. You would have to get a close above 64.75. So almost a 4 handles away from that close from Friday.
Very interesting day today. So, man, I think is it safe to say that the value trade is unwinding or done, because the Russell's getting smacked around today. The Russell was down almost 3%, 2.7% compared to the NASDAQ, which is just about flat, and the S&Ps, which are also just about flat. So small cap value, whatever you want to call it, is that trade is
Oh, there's your IWM. There's a nice level for you to keep an eye on, folks. 221. 21.33 high, 20.68 high on Friday, 20.93 high in today's session. So that reminds me of like the triple Qs. What was it? 3.25? Was that big level we were looking at? It was sticking out. Yeah, 3.25. So that's what you got in the IWM. Did have a little bit of retreat, battling back, but boy, oh boy. 221, that signals another leg higher in the small cap Russell 2000 ETF.
And then RAG is asking about LUMN Lumen, which is what do they do? Like internet? What is it? It's like, is it fiber optic cables? Is that what they do? I think it's fiber optic cables, internet connection, something to do with internet connection and fiber optic cables, I think.
Hold it in there, $13. You can see the lows, $12.90, $12.85, and $12.97 in today's session. That's a sign of some big boys accumulating. Unfortunately, can't get over really $13.80. $13.86 was your high last Tuesday. The last two highs, $13.64, and $13.70. Couldn't even get there today, $13.40. So you are getting nice support here on the downside. You just got your highs coming down. So a break above that 1380 into the 14 handle, then more upward momentum for Lumentum, LUMN.
Again, just to repeat myself, there really is not much on the docket for earnings tonight. There is some earnings tomorrow of note. I can go through those if you'd like. Tomorrow morning, we're going to get XL Fleet. We're going to get
XL.
Nah.
That's a SPAC, right?
Oh, interesting. It was BioNTech, BNTX tomorrow morning. That'll be interesting. I want to hear how the vaccine's impacting.
XL Fleet. Who says a SPAC can't go under 9 or under 10? That's at 9.
Not a SPAC anymore. So
yeah. Oh, another leg down. Whoopsie daisy. We're gonna lose 63.50. Oh, we're volatile here in the last minute. We just pressed at 57, bounced up to 60, folks. That's going to end today's session.
You can't make me feel bad. After Friday afternoon, you can't make me. One little dip, please. I don't laugh at that.
You laugh in the fear of a sell-off. All right.
Yeah, after what we just went through on last Tuesday, Wednesday, right?
Correct.
Yeah. All right. That is going to be it for the day. Final tally into the S&Ps. As Joel just said, we closed just barely in the red. Communication services in the green today. Your leader, along with utilities and staples. Energy was down. Discretionary is down. The banks, of course, were down. Tech, for some reason, was down today, though it seemed to me that
just going nowhere. That
a lot of things seemed like they were up to me, but I guess by and large, the sector was down. All right, that'll be a wrap. Joel, we'll see you tomorrow.
All right, bright and early. Have a good night, folks.
Thanks a lot. And just to recap, what's up, Mitch?
What up?
All the information from our show is meant to be used as informational purposes, not for investing or trading advice. And smash that like button for Joel and the At the Close show and my whiteboard behind me. that I do not contribute to in any way, shape, or form.
Flex.